XLR8 is an unreleased futuristic racing game that was due to come out in 1998, but never did. It did, however, appear in a revamped form in an arcade cabinet, which we'll get onto later. If, like me, you bought a copy of International Rally Championship released by Europress, there was a small advert card inside. On one side was the game Plain Crazy, which did get released, and on the other was XLR8, supposedly available in 1998, programmed by Speedworks and due to release on PC CD-ROM and the original PlayStation. A number of promotional shots were released at the time, featuring wild-looking bikes racing around giant loops, lava-filled tracks, Art Deco locations, across the top of tubes, high above football fields, and you could seemingly drive everywhere. Magazine articles previewed the game too, such as this one from PC Zone in January 1998, but the game never came out. I reached out to some of the former developers and managed to get my hands on a copy of a prototype used to show the game's progress to Europress, and here's a rolling demo of the impressive Olympus circuit, showing off the crazy bike designs and wild looping layout with warp gates. You'll notice the bike tyres change colour depending on the surface. You could manually control this or let the game just get on with choosing the best mode for you. But this game also had an extensive championship mode, and other demos show some bonus rounds that presumably formed part of that, including this arena-like area, a bonus stage of the Ulby location, along with this bizarre Trias rainforest bonus stage where you appear to have to float down between balloons and floating platforms. But let's get back to the racing. The game consists of two divisions, where Division 2 has fairly tame circuits, such as this opening oval-like Wing 1 track. If you switch to the higher Division 1, the circuit now has some large holes in it to avoid, making it a bit more exciting to race. One thing I do note, apart from the notification on screen that says "handling is not final," is that the AI-controlled opponents are completely hopeless, getting stuck everywhere and seeing you win every track, apart from when you occasionally get stuck in the scenery and come to a complete halt yourself. Anyway, sit back and enjoy some laps around the varied tracks in the game. Whilst this game was not commercially released, it did get reworked into an arcade game that apparently appeared in London's Trocadero Centre at least. The arcade version was also released into public domain, so you can try that out if you wish. The arcade version allows you to choose between 1 and 2 players. Then you can either do a single race or a championship across the 3 included tracks, which we'll do here. These tracks are repurposed from the PC version, but now the handling has been refined and the cockpit view is the only playable view in the arcade version, although you can change viewpoints still by using the function keys as per the PC version. Additionally, you have a small number of missiles to fire at rivals, but the biggest change is that a large drone will appear ahead of everyone, constantly firing at all the racers. With luck, you can sometimes take the drone out, but then another one appears. It's a weird choice, but it does make the game feel more intense. And yes, the arcade version does feel like it's made for widescreen but crushed down to 4:3 aspect ratio. Perhaps this was to exacerbate the feeling of speed? Anyway, enjoy my run through the arcade championship mode. So I ran out of time on the final stage, much like how the game ran out of time and was never released. Almost poetic or something. Anyway, see below this video for where to find both games if you want to try them out yourself.